Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity, with a quick roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, January 23rd through Saturday, January 29th, 2022. Would you like to know what's happening this week? Would you like me to draw you a picture? Or, well, perhaps I'd better leave it to the experts. From now through the end of the year, the Hey le dessin, or Hey the drawing exhibit is being thrown in conjunction by the Halle Saint-Pierre Museum in the 18th arrondissement and the Hey Modern Art and Pop Culture magazine. I keep saying hey like that because it's hey exclamation point, just to be clear. Highlighting the alternative art scene, this exhibit features over 500 works of art from 113 artists from 30 countries in 1,000 square meters of space. As well as works of graffiti and Japanese prison art, you'll find, quote, the seditious figures of lowbrow art, nourished by the iconography of popular media, the phantasmographies of pop surrealism, rediscovering the heritage of the great pictorial traditions, the free forms of street art and the me-skin of the tattooing, the individual and solitary escapes of art brut, and the redefined and libertarian expressions of an eye in the wild. Artistic otherness is presented in its diversity and complexity as a form of resistance against the impoverishment of our collective imagination. End quote. Hey le dessin will run from now through December 31st and is open every day, save the occasional holiday. For more information, including a look at the artwork, please head to heyheyhey.fr. As all good and devoted Don't Miss This listeners will know, last week we celebrated Men's Paris Fashion Week. This week, that tradition continues. Haute Couture Paris Fashion Week will run from Monday, January 24th through Thursday, January 27th, and I refuse to make a joke about models and a week having only 4 days. While fashion houses like Christian Dior, Victor & Rolf, Fendi Couture, Valentino, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and Elie Saab will present invitation-only runway shows with a simultaneous live stream, other fashion houses will forgo the in-person audience runway altogether with purely live-streamed or digital presentations. You can find the full calendar and additional information at hautecouture.fhcm.paris. That's HAUTECOUTURE.fhcm.paris. But at least if you see a head in a birdcage, pants as shirts, or meat as dresses in the metro, you'll know why. I mentioned this next event not because it took me years of practice to be able to pronounce Rochechouart, but because you may be interested in something just a little bit different. On Monday, January 24th and Tuesday, January 25th, you can make your way to a secret cabaret in a 4-star suite in the 9th arrondissement's Hotel Rochechouart. This immersive cabaret experience is described as a combination of musical and comedy show in the intimate settings of a hotel suite, decorated specifically for the occasion. It will be performed by 3 well-known cabaret artists, Patachoui and Billy Bellegarde and Mascar, also known as the Nomoro Duo. The show is followed by a drink at the hotel bar. This cabaret experience will be held at the Hotel Rochechouart on January 24th and 25th, with 4 hourly performances each night from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are €25 and include a ticket and a drink at the bar. Places are limited and reservations can be made at helloasso.com. That's HELLOASSO.com by searching for Suite Rochechouart by Mimi Productions. That's SUITEROCHECHOUART. I hope that all that talk of meat dresses and hotel bar cocktails has whet your appetite, because this week holds 2, count 'em 2, gastronomic festivals. The first, Être chef aujourd'hui, or Being a Chef Today, begins on Wednesday, January 26th and runs through Sunday the 30th at Ground Control. Created in collaboration with food agency La Relève, this free festival is for amateur and professional chefs as well as for food enthusiasts. And I do want to make it clear that in French, the festival's name specifies both male and female chefs. You'll find workshops on topics like vegetal pastries, fermentation, mixology, cooking for kids, and culinary photography for Instagram. Each day of the 5-day festival has its own theme, including Chefs Take the Floor, podcast show, the cultural influence of chefs around the world, professions and training, how to become a chef in 2022, the chefs who changed the codes, and new ways of being a chef. One full day is dedicated solely to professionals looking for work or further training and discussions around recruitment and project financing. The Être Chef Aujourd'hui festival will run from January 26th through the 30th at Ground Control and is free to attend. Find more information at groundcontrolparis.com. We need only wait one more day for our second gastronomic festival, the Salon de la Gastronomie des Outre-mer et de la Francophonie, which translates roughly as the Overseas Territories and French-Speaking Former Colonies Gastronomy Salon. Incidentally, if you're interested in learning more about how the term francophonie can be problematic, please listen to episode 4 of our sister podcast, Navigating the French. It's very interesting. And heck, you can listen to episode 13 on gastronomy if you're so inclined. But I digress, because this salon sounds delicious no matter what you call it. The Salon de la Gastronomie des Outre-mer et de la Francophonie will take place at the Palais des Expositions on January 28th, 29th, and 30th, and features food from Guadeloupe, Guyana, Martinique, Mayotte, New Caledonia, French Polynesia, Réunion, Saint-Martin, Saint-Barthélemy, Saint-Pierre et Miquelon, Wallis et Futuna, and more. In addition to showcasing delicious international cuisine, the purpose of this salon is to raise awareness of quality and diversity of flavors from these regions, but also the heritage, culture, tourism, know-how, and talents of France's overseas territories and the French-speaking world. This year, Guadeloupe is guest of honor with both its food and its chefs in the spotlight. In addition to culinary discoveries, you'll find culinary battles between 8 young candidates competing to win the Babette Trophy, a parade of fruit dresses, and numerous concerts with the Compagnie Créole, Ballet Congo, Nji, Haute Raoui, and many others. The Salon de la Gastronomie des Outre-mer et de la Francophonie will run from January 28th through the 30th at the Palais des Expositions. Tickets are €10 on site or €8 online and is free for children under 12. More information can be found at sagasdom.com. That's SAGASDOM.com. Calling all archaeology enthusiasts. To celebrate the launch of a new season of the documentary series Les Trésors Perdus de la Vallée des Rois, or The Lost Treasures of the Valley of the Kings, National Geographic is opening a pop-up shop near Châtelet on Friday, January 28th and Saturday, January 29th. With numerous workshops and immersive activities created around ancient Egypt, you'll try your hand at deciphering hieroglyphics, writing with a reed pen on papyrus, discovering archaeosciences, and making a soapstone beetle amulet. You'll find a quiz on Egyptology, a masterclass on the archaeology profession, and have the chance to meet an actual National Geographic archaeologist. As a bonus, you can also watch projections of old National Geographic documentaries and visit an exhibit on archaeology. I have never said the word archaeology so many times in my entire life. Please note that these workshops must be booked in advance, on-site, and last 45 minutes. The National Geographic pop-up shop will run from January 28th to January 29th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and more information can be found at nationalgeographic.fr. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. And we're back. As you likely remember from just a few minutes ago, this week's Haute Couture Paris Fashion Week runs through the 27th. Well, the very next day, Paris will pay tribute to fashion designer Pierre Cardin with a runway show at the National Air and Space Museum. Pierre passed away in December 2020 at the age of 98. This show, organized by Pierre's nephew, was initially scheduled for December 29th, 2021, the one-year anniversary of Pierre's passing. This show, named Cosmo Core 3022, will be futuristic and avant-garde, mirroring the personality of Pierre Cardin, a huge fan of the space-age artistic movement of the 1960s, and will feature the final unseen designs from his last collection, as well as a new collection produced by the Pierre Cardin Design Studio, which intends to keep his legacy alive. Cosmo Core 3022 will debut on Friday, January 28th. For more information, please visit pierrecardin.com. That's pierrecardin.com. In no way to overshadow Pierre Cardin, on Saturday, January 29th, Paris will unveil 6 different exhibits in 6 different museums dedicated to the work of Yves Saint Laurent, with a show named Yves Saint Laurent au Musée, or Yves Saint Laurent at the Museums. To honor the 60th anniversary of the first fashion show by the French couturier, the Louvre, the Centre Pompidou, the Picasso Museum, the Musée d'Orsay, the Museum of Modern Art, and the Yves Saint Laurent Museum have all joined together for a multidisciplinary retrospective of Yves Saint Laurent's influence on and relationship to the arts. Each museum will have its own theme based on Yves Saint Laurent's universe. The Pompidou Center will highlight the evolution of Yves Saint Laurent's creations as he redefined male and female dress codes. Most notably, here you'll find the famous Mondrian dress. The Museum of Modern Art takes a closer look at the colors, lights, shadows, and materials of Yves Saint Laurent's work, highlighting his modernity for his time, and they will host the Yves Saint Laurent fashion show in its permanent collection. Both Pablo Picasso and Marcel Proust impacted Yves Saint Laurent's work. The Picasso Museum will explore the Spanish painter's Cubist influence, while the Musée d'Orsay will focus on the influence of Proust. The Louvre will explore Laurent's fascination with the color gold in its Apollo Gallery, with displays of outfits all dressed in gold. And last, but certainly not least, the Yves Saint Laurent Museum, where the couturier once sketched his models, will unveil unpublished archives, including patterns, customer models, embroidery, and a tribute jacket to Van Gogh. Yves Saint Laurent au Musée begins on January 29th, but the end date varies between May 15th and September 18th, depending on the museum. Those museums, one more time, are the Louvre, the Centre Pompidou, the Modern Art Museum, the Musée d'Orsay, the Picasso Paris National Museum, and the Yves Saint Laurent Museum. For more information, please visit each museum's individual website. We began this episode with Hey, le dessin, so let's bookend it with a little more drawing. From Saturday, January 29th through March 4th, the work of contemporary artist Nicolas Daubin will be featured at the Drawing Lab with an exhibit titled Le Chiffre Noir, or the Black Number. Through the use of glass, concrete, ceramics, and iron fillings, Nicolas tries to show, quote, the difference in subjectivity between two antagonistic forces, end quote, by using dark subjects and raw materials. For example, he injects sugar into concrete to weaken it, much like the resistance fighters of World War II did to sabotage enemy walls. Or he demonstrates the difference between the number of protesters according to the police versus the organizers. Or he juxtaposes a video of people playing an escape game with footage from a prisoner sentenced to life in jail. Le Chiffre Noir will run from January 29th to March 4th at the Drawing Lab and is free to attend. Please find more information at drawinglabparis.com. As a reminder, Season 2 of Paris Underground Radio will begin on February 13th. I'm very excited to announce a brand new show coming to the network, the Terroir Podcast. If you're a lover of wine or cheese or French history or super nerdy fun facts told in a funny and often PG-13 manner, you will love this show. Here's the blurb. France is home to thousands of wines, thousands of cheeses, and countless recipes, almost all of which are inextricable from their local terroir. Terroir is a word that links foods, wines, and more to the places they're from and the people who make them. Let culinary journalist Emily Monaco and chef and wine expert Caroline Connor take you through the ins and outs of France's phenomenal regional richness. The Terroir podcast will begin with the Provence region with their episode, Provence, the Heart of the Mediterranean Diet, or is it? Which will debut on Friday, February 18th. For more information, please visit parisundergroundradio.com/The Terroir Podcast. Well, that's it for this week's roundup of Don't Miss This. I hope this week treats you well. If you enjoyed this roundup, please tell a friend. If you venture out to any of the events mentioned in this podcast, please let me know and tag Paris Underground Radio on Facebook or Instagram. And if you think you have an event we should know about, please feel free to email me at hello@parisundergroundradio.com with the subject line, Don't Miss This. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria, JennyPhoria. Don't Miss This is produced by me for Paris Underground Radio. For more on Don't Miss This and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com. Thank you so much for listening, and happy exploring!